Welcome to Stage 2, Understanding Mental Health Conditions. Module 1, What are mental health conditions? Imagine this. You see someone with a broken leg, they are given a crutch, taken to the hospital, and everyone understands their pain. But when the mind is hurting, when thoughts are heavy, emotions are dark, and behaviors begin to change, people often look away. Some laugh, some judge, some call it madness. But here's the truth. These are not curses, they are not weaknesses, and they are not shameful secrets. They are what we call mental health conditions. Today, we begin Stage 2 of our training, Understanding Mental Health Conditions. And in this first module, we are going to break it all down. We will ask, what exactly are mental health conditions? Why do they happen? And why do they matter to us all? Defining mental health conditions. A mental health condition is any challenge that affects how a person thinks, how they feel, and how they behave. Some conditions are short-term. For example, feeling anxious for a few weeks after a stressful event. But others are long-term and may require lifelong care, like bipolar disorder or schizophrenia. It is important to understand that just as malaria affects the body, mental health conditions affect the mind. But the impact can also be seen in the body, in relationships, in school, at work, and in the entire community. Here's something powerful. Mental health conditions are medical conditions. They are not laziness. They are not curses. They are not punishment from God. They are health issues, just like diabetes, asthma, or high blood pressure. Breaking myths. In our communities, especially in Africa, so many myths surround mental health. Let's clear them up. Myth 1. Mental illness comes from witchcraft, curses, or evil spirits. The truth? Mental health conditions are caused by brain chemistry, genetics, and life experiences, not magic. Myth 2. People with mental health conditions are violent and dangerous. The truth? Most people living with these conditions are not violent. In fact, they are more likely to be harmed than to harm others. Myth 3. You can just snap out of it. The truth? You cannot simply snap out of depression, anxiety, or schizophrenia. They are medical conditions, and they need treatment and care. Example, everyday life. Let's make this real. A young mother who used to wake up early and prepare breakfast for her children now finds it impossible to even leave her bed. She feels no joy in anything. That could be depression. A student who has always been confident suddenly begins to experience racing thoughts, sweaty palms, and shortness of breath every time exams come near. That is more than nervousness. That could be anxiety. A man walking through the market, speaking to voices no one else can hear, is mocked by onlookers. But he is not possessed. He could be living with schizophrenia. These are all examples of mental health conditions. They are real. They are happening every day, even in our own families. The global reality. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health condition at some point in their life. That means if you have 40 students in a classroom, at least 10 may be struggling silently. Mental health is not only an African issue, it is a global issue. From Lagos to New York, from Abuja to Sydney, people everywhere face these challenges. But here is the difference. In some places, people get help. In others, like many of our communities, stigma and silence keep people suffering. The cost of silence. What happens when mental health conditions go untreated? Families break down. Children drop out of school. Adults lose their jobs. Some people turn to drugs, crime, or violence. And in the most painful cases, lives are lost to suicide. But it doesn't have to be this way. With treatment, with support, and with understanding, recovery is possible. People living with mental health conditions can and do live full, successful lives. Why this matters to us? This matters because mental health is not just about statistics. It is about real people. It is about our mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, friends, and neighbors. If 1 in 4 people are affected, it means every single one of us knows someone who is struggling, even if they hide it well. And if we don't speak, if we don't learn, if we don't support, we continue the cycle of silence and suffering, closing and transition. So, what have we learned in this first module of Stage 2? We have learned that mental health conditions are real medical conditions. They are not curses. They are not weaknesses. They are treatable. And they are everywhere in our families, our schools, our workplaces, and our communities. This is just the beginning. In the next module, we will look at the most common mental health conditions: depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and more, so that we can truly recognize them and support those in need. Stay with us, because knowledge is the first step to change.